5 steps to self-awareness. These are the ones that I came up with. I encourage you to find your own. Step 1, know thyself. Step 2, in all things to thyself be true. Step 3, know that you know nothing. This is the only true wisdom in life. Careful, babe. Step 4, any fool can know. The point is to understand. Step 5, if you think you understand, then you probably don't. There are a few caveats. Step 1 is all-encompassing due to the nature of step 2. You think you know yourself, but you must be true to yourself. You must not lie to yourself about anything. This means, in order to know thyself and to be true to thyself, in order to move to the next step, you must be self-honest with yourself about yourself. You must get to know every in and out of your mind, of your heart, of your body. To truly know yourself, you must understand yourself. But we'll get to that step. In all things, to thyself be true means self-honesty and honesty in general. There are obviously times when honesty is not the best policy, but overwhelmingly it tends to be. But you only learn this through step 3. Anything you think you know could turn out to not be the case. Know that you know nothing. There's always unknown unknowns. Once you come to grasp what you know, what you don't know, your willingness to adapt what you know based on new information, which is a part of step 2, you might consider moving on to the next step. But we've already been working on it. The point is not to know, it is to understand. You can know all kinds of things and they may not be true. If you understand a thing, you know whether or not it's true. With the caveat of step 3. But in keeping with step 3, to move on beyond step 4 requires step 5, which is in many ways just yet another sibilant repetition. It is something very similar. You have know that you know nothing. You have don't just know, understand. But in appropriateness, the first 3 were classical Greek wisdom and philosophy. Step 4 is the father of modern physics. Someone who was opining about the search for truth and understanding of how things work. The matter that we're made of, space and stars, planets, galaxies, atoms, subatomic particles, all of it. And likewise, the next step beyond that step comes from the father of quantum physics. Also a poet, as it turns out. If you think you know, then you probably don't. Or if you think you understand, rather. Because any fool can know the point is to understand. Though you must know that you know nothing, you may understand much. Because you can grasp deeper patterns with repetition. But this one's a little different too. Because the word think is in it. We're no longer just knowing, being true, or understanding. You may think you understand something, and via step 3, you may be incorrect. Always keeping track of whether or not that is the case is the root, the real beginning of self-awareness. Because by those mental actions, those ways of thinking, and the time taken to actually endeavor to make it through them, with that practice comes an innate second nature self-awareness. Subconscious self-awareness as opposed to a self-aware subconscious. Although maybe that comes with it too. It took me a while to come up with them. It's taken me 2.5, it's taken me a decade and a half and more of working on, as far as my own personal inner work, knowing myself, to myself being true, knowing that I know nothing, making it the point to understand. And just because I think I understand doesn't mean anything. And it could be that to understand is to understand. If you think you understand, that's like to try. And that's, if you're going to try, then you're going to fail. You must do, in order to succeed. With enough time and practice comes self-awareness.